Okay, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about what cross-school access is and what it does, and where we can set that for our resources. In this particular case is for pages, for example, we just open up the page editor and just toggle this viewable from schools either on or off depending on what we do. And just as a refresher, what that does is it'll lock this resource to the school that owns it. Meaning if I try to view this private cross page from a different school, I'll get a 404. If a crawler visits that school, it won't be indexed. The crawler just move on. And effectively what that does is it removes any malformed URLs from these Google search results. So we stop getting the wrong URLs here. So this does extend to other resource types. For example, I'm going to head back to the district because that's where all my content is. And under My Files, we have the My Explorer. We have all different post types here, blogs, calendar, news, etc. And there's pages there. So if I select one of these, you'll find that there's a new indicator next to the post ID. This indicator is for the lock status. So you'll see most have a green check mark, and we have one with a red cross mark there. So the red mark just means it's not indexable. It's only going to be viewable from this particular page, or this particular site, excuse me. And green check mark means that it is indexable. I can view that from any school. So you'll want to make sure that we do this appropriately. So we have a lot of test pages here. But let's say this ME page here. If I only want this page part of this district site, I'll select it and just click lock. Changes to a red check, and that means that this ME page is now only viewable from this district site. I can't go to IES Private or IES Trade and load up this ME page. So I would say take care to make sure that we're actually doing that. Um, your visitors will receive a 404, um, and they won't know what to do. They'll have to take advantage of that did you mean section. So as I mentioned before, this does expand beyond pages. I can go to any blog and do the same exact thing. Um, Now, I believe blogs and news calendars, podcasts, those sub-resource types, other than pages, for example, um, are by default set to be locked. And the reason for that is because that we feel like those post types are unique to that school. For example, when you create an event, that event is probably most likely 90% of the time just for that particular school. So we'll want to default those to locked. However, pages, I believe, are defaulted to unlocked. I could be wrong about that. So the concept of locking resources does actually extend to portals as well. This was something that we really tried to do at first and we got it wrong and then we updated it. Anyways, so yeah, portals I believe are by default set to be locked, but we can unlock them. And I have a prime example here. On IES Private School, I have this cross portal. And it has a departments list, a welcome, some contact widget, and a blurb widget. Okay, and the way that we actually get these to be cross school accessible, because this doesn't have an editor, is under Edit Layout. So if I open that up, you'll see viewable from other schools set to yes. And if I just set that to no, same thing, I get a 404. There is no did you mean section for portals, and I can show you actually. If I take this end part of the URL and I'll go to IES Trade, I'm actually going to set this to locked first. And then on IES Trade, okay, great. So it is locked, and I'm getting this inaccessible because I'm logged in. So same inaccessible message as before. It's just telling me that I need to recreate this portal. And portals, unfortunately, once they are set to be invalidated, they are just invalidated. Um, but if I visit this in an incognito, meaning I'm not logged in, I just get a 404. Again, no did you mean section. It's wildly difficult to parse through the widgets of a portal and determine which data to check for relevance. And so we feel it's just easier, and in this case, a simple 404 message suffices. So how does that change if I go to the portal and I toggle it is cross-school accessible? Well, for one, this inaccessible message goes away and I'm able to actually view the content. And the same is true for this 404. It shows me the portal. And so that's all well and good, but things are different actually. So how are things different? If I go to private cross portal here, same thing, departments, welcome, blurb, and contact info. However, some content is different. So if we look at contact info, for example, this is the contact info for IS Private because I'm on IS Private. And if I head over to IS Trade, well, the contact info is different. This is the contact info for IS Trade School. And so that's an important distinction, is that some content is changeable based on which school is loading it. Things like contact info, even departments, for example. This is the IS Trade Departments, Extracurriculars and Trade Department. And on private, we have School Depot to District GCD Sync, Private Athletics, and Private School Department. So we do have content that is changed or scaled dynamically depending on which school is actually loading it. I don't believe the blurb changes. This goes to IS private events, and this one also goes to IS private events. So again, not all content is scalable. Um, I think this might actually be set from the actual content side. Yeah. Um, and also beware if I change it on IIS trade, it does also change on IIS private. We understand that it may not seem so, like they look like two completely different portals, but they're not. Changing one does change the other because they are the same portal. Um, so aside from portals, this also does extend to departments. So if I head over to private athletics, for example, and let's make some changes to make this distinct. So I am going to, I'll add a portal and a page, and I don't think I have pop-ups, no. Um, let's add a module as well. There we go. I'll hit save. Okay, great. So now, how do we make departments or even classrooms, I believe, are also cross-school accessible? It's underneath config, the same way we did it for pages. There's that viewable from other schools, but let's see this first as not viewable. Yep, same thing, inaccessible, and that's all we really need to know from there. But now let's toggle viewable and save. All right, here we go. So naturally, color schemes are different. It will be different depending on your template that you chose during signing. So if you're on responsive themed or RT, you have access to certain features like, let me see if I can load up I don't have a portal. Um, portals, open. For example, like underneath blurb, let me open the settings, styles, colors. Okay, so this drop down, for example, these are all your theme colors. There's primary, secondary, Facebook based, light, dark, etc. So that's part of the responsive themed um, template, and those are your theme colors. So the theme colors for this IS private, for example, are purple and orange, and that's why we have orange backgrounds, some orange or purple backgrounds as well. However, for IS trade, I believe it's red and yellow, and that's why we have yellow instead. So certain things, just like our I'm trying to get back to the portal. Just like the school information changes for like departments or for the contact, for example, those theme colors also change, and that's why we have a yellow background instead. Um, And so something to be wary of is that content changes depending on the school that's viewing it. And also, this IES Trade School is not full main content. However, this one is, and that's why we're seeing that change as well. Um, and lastly, we have top nav and no top nav there. So there are varieties that we have going on while we're setting cross school accessible. Um, and I believe that this is done in the site config. So like we have it for the My Explorer, this indicator here, and we can set lock and unlock from the My Explorer. I believe we can from the GCD manager. If I open up Department Manager and hit Edit, yeah, Department Viewable from other schools, and there's Unique and Viewable. So we just change it there, and we can move on with our lives. We don't have to go to every single department and change it one by one. Um, I mean, we have to here, but rather than loading up a whole new page, etc., we could just do it from the department manager. And I believe that is everything with setting cross-school accessible. So I will see you in the next video where we talk a little bit more about cross-school access. See you then.